Hello and welcome to our meal prep and cooking demo. My name's Eliza and I'm a health coach with the City of Austin. I'm here today with Kim, who is a registered dietitian and also a health coach with the city. So Kim, tell us what we'll be making today.
Yeah, today we are going to make a hearty protein grain bowl using whole foods. And we're going to talk a little bit about how to meal prep to save time, as well as the health benefits of this recipe. So we're going to walk through. The recipe contains vegetables, whole grains or high quality carbs, some lean proteins, and healthy fats. And that's what the way you want to think about meal prep is, does my meal have a plant, either a fruit or vegetable, high quality carbohydrate, lean proteins, and healthy fats? So we're going to start with our vegetables. And today for this recipe, which does serve 4, by the way, we have a cup of shredded carrots, a cup of steamed edamame, and about 3 or 4 cups of steamed broccoli. When you're meal prepping, it's important to choose vegetables you like, but also challenge yourself to try something new. Also, having a wide variety of vegetables with different colors enhances the phytochemical properties, the heart health benefits, and the antioxidant value. Also, using shredded carrots saves time, or buying pre-cut vegetables also saves time.
Yeah, I love those tips from the vegetables and those benefits that we get from incorporating them into our meals. And with meal prep, sometimes we end up with extra ingredients, and with vegetables, they can make for really great snacks. So if you are buying like whole carrots, you can always cut them so they're easy to snack on and kind of keep them in the front of your fridge. Edamame also makes for a great snack too.
Great. So now we're going to move on to our high quality carb. Today we're using pre-cooked brown rice, and using pre-cooked grains is also a great time saver, but you could also buy the dried versions and bulk cook so that you can use these grains in other recipes.
Yeah, I love the kind of Minute Maid rice, and it's so efficient and provides less room for error. I think we've all undercooked or overcooked rice before, but that's, yeah, such a great effective tool. We can also, like Kim said, buy dried grains as well. And if you do choose to cook kind of dried grains, you can always add a low sodium broth, such as chicken, vegetable, or beef broth, to just kind of boost flavor and cooking that in broth instead of water. Love it. All right, so looks like we're moving to the protein.
Yeah, so today we are going to be using tofu, which is certainly great for our vegans and vegetarians out there, but for you meat lovers, don't shy away from it. Tofu is a great lean protein source. And for those of you who have never cooked with tofu, we wanted to show you what it looked like. Here I have almost half a block of tofu, and I wanted to show you how easy it is to cut, and then we're going to marinate it and bake it. And so you'll just slice it into tiny cubes. You can make the size however big or small that you like. And then after you dice it, then we're going to just toss it into our bowl here. And then we're going to add our marinade. Today we're using low sodium soy sauce, but you can use any other type of marinade you like a teriyaki or a liquid aminos, especially if you're going soy-free. So we're going to just give that a toss, and then you'll let it marinate in the refrigerator for about 4 hours up to 24 hours. Put it on a baking sheet, bake at 425 degrees for 15 minutes, flip another 15 minutes, and it comes out of the oven like this. And we're using parchment paper. That is also a time saver for easy cleanup.
Perfect. Yeah, love a good easy cleanup. And I also love crispy tofu. That is always on my meal prepping menu. So I usually use my air fryer. So after the marinade, I just toss a little bit of potato starch or cornstarch over the tofu just to get a nice crispiness, and usually set my air fryer for 400 degrees and put it in for 15 to 20 minutes. And then make sure to kind of take it out and flip it halfway through so you get that even crispiness throughout. And if tofu isn't your thing, that's okay. You can always use a lean source of protein, such as chicken or fish, within this recipe. And you can even buy it frozen as well. Yeah, so it looks like we have some good toppings over here, some sunflower seeds and pumpkin seeds and avocado. So tell us some of like the health benefits from these.
Yeah, what's great about the seeds and the avocado is they are full of protein and fiber. They're also going to add a nice crunch as well as creaminess. And I think texture is another important aspect when you're planning your meals. So these are great options, but you could also use nuts as well.
Yeah, I love the combination of textures with the creaminess from the avocado and then the kind of crunchiness from the seeds. You can also use sesame seeds if you're wanting to do more of an Asian fusion dish here. And next we'll move on to the dressing. So it's very, very simple. So we're just going to use some heart healthy olive oil, kind of aiming for about 3 tablespoons. And just remember, this is for 4 servings. We have this. We have apple cider vinegar, so you may need to give it a shake to kind of distribute that sediment at the bottom. We're going to use about 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. And this also kind of helps regulate blood sugar as well. And then we'll add in some Dijon mustard for just a bit of tanginess and to just kind of thicken up the dressing. I'm aiming for about a tablespoon. And then next, we'll add the seasonings, keeping it simple with salt and pepper. And I always like using a mason jar because it's easy to shake the ingredients up and then store it for later too, if you do want to make more and use it in other recipes. All right, so now it looks like we're ready to start combining these ingredients.
So as you may recall, our recipe serves 4. So we have Eliza here mixing everything together into one big bowl. And after we mix it, we're going to show you what one serving of a grab and go quick lunch will look like. We're going to keep the avocado and dressing separate since this is going to sit overnight in the refrigerator. We don't want the veggies to get soggy or the avocado to go brown. But you could also take some mason jars and create an assembly line and layer all your vegetables. And in that case, you could use your dressing as your base along with your grain, and that way the marinade infuses into the whole grains. So we're going to give this a quick toss. Looks great.
Yes, it does. Nice combination of colors here.
And then we're going to just scoop out 1 serving, or about 1/4 of the recipe, into our airtight glass container. I'm going to make sure I get some of those carrots.
Okay, you could also use a mason jar to store this as well to kind of layer the ingredients.
And these containers are great for portion control as well. I'm just going to close this up.
Perfect. Well, we hope you kind of learned some tools for meal prepping from this, and you can get the nutrition facts and recipe on City Space. Thanks so much.